Light the ganja, align your chakras, ignite the stardust into vibrant sparklers. My tiny dancer, made out of china plaster. Don't try and ask for my apartment full of final answers, because the mind is darker, you can't switch off the lights. So sayonara, the space is occupied. Tick off your bucket list before you go kick in the bucket. Consider assumptions of that intricate interruption, eternal abyssal concussion, little adjustment, a graveyard of embryos, just infant incumbents, literal numbers restricting the little differences in pigment and colour, stagnant on the edge. You found out the jump was a distance, and it says scarring the blood in the kitchen. You went and wound yourself up in that linen. So savour your Bronx cheers, cause it's been a long year. Spent half of that time wondering how long I got here, how we all got here. How long until we're officially old timers? Your harrowing pulse, the dance that my heartbeat can mimic when it falls to Alzheimer's. So hang me to dry on a nail board before I go riding a pale horse. My pops had an afternoon nap, the breeze never decided to change course. That afternoon turned into years, they etched into permanent ink. Watching those flights of sanities in mine to an epiphany, don't be determined to think. And maybe no one's wrong, but I ain't saying no to nodding off forever. But it's too hard for us to stay composed and proper, with the weight of knowing lots of them had made a broken promise before we spread their burnt morale in the vacant ocean's honour. I can't stay morose and somber when the days can go for longer, so I wrote and left these passing thoughts in Davy Jones's locker. When the pain we know's forgotten will have taken over all that overcame our hopeless knowledge, which remains our ode to conquer. I remember Papa asking how that sounds to me, how it seems we carry on without a fleeting glimpse of hope or ambition, of a doubtful dream bowing down to our outer knees, taking everything out of me for a salary, mandatory. Save the counsel and for the shrouded teen wishing to find inner and outer peace within himself when he's ginger and elderly. We never make you do you if you ain't proud to be. Pride is just agony, they ran out of flowers and empowering fallacy. Jousting the bloody scalpel and dousing the towel in gasoline to cower the cowardly by burning ourselves down and out to our bare feet. It's just me and you and me, some empty lungs, weary eyes and a blank computer screen. My ancestors insist that time isn't really simple, but I could lie with you until my skin withers into wrinkle. A separate wrinkle in time between the eye of a needle, a new dimension, a tiring sequel minus the people. There was all of us, then there was none of us, then there was all of us, then there was none of us, then there was all of us, then there was none of us, yeah. I've been to heaven on earth, on an antique beach, I'm ahead of the curve. She said to follow the dirt roads to see where the earth copes. A world broken into unearthed coasts, submerged folk riding their burnt coat. Tales of a stirred ghost, traversed by the burnt oak with skin for a fur coat. Sprinting towards the lonely woods for one last laugh before a moonlit swim in the untouched glass. Those gradient pools, we went chasing the ghouls and their kernels of wisdom to make us the fools. A streak of charcoal under your eyes, gold light bulb moment, light on focus, blushing blemishes in a bouquet of bokeh, a ribald quotient, drifting at ease, sinking in an infinite sea. You're just a bundle of impressions and things that your father said, so we can skip pretending to be kindling architects. I'll sing with the narcoleptic stranger again, till he fades to a breath of the bay when it rests. I rest wrestling blankets, so far from home. I guess I'm off to read de Beauvoir alone. Yesterday I heard a steamboat throttle choke, coffin smoke that leaves the reef so monochrome. Wondering how geometry couldn't be limitless, dragging a second-hand kayak to the foot of the river Styx. I'm inhaling tea leaves, waiting a blood orange like half my soul in my pocket, and changes the drugs oscillate. Waiting, I'll paint this rundown Shinkansen mural to refract warmth off your incandescent pupils. It's hand-washed anguish, best to air it out. Young girls fall on a whim, so prepare a gown. It's the ocean and the broken with me, nearing the outskirts of utopia, the closest we'll be. Then there was all of us, and there was none of us, and there was all of us. Said you want the world, I pick you up from the earth, covered in dirt, some cuts have emerged, colourful birds, from the soul to the earth. We don't come from the surf, up from the birds. I'm in love with you, girl, what a wonderful world, cause I'm in the words. Firework die in the sky, I'm struggling to match. But I want slow-mo, and somehow I left with my eyes intact. You said I'm a lovable mister, not just another barista. Chuckled a bit and chucked on Charlie Parker, car honey, you isn't another but drifter. I take you out for espresso to get you to let go. I'm careful but never resentful. You checking the temper, you might just get it resentful. I feel like Othello, but talk about Geppetto. My rest of my ego are chemical echoes. I get that, I guess I might as well have said that you said so. You will play right a while out, I ain't think it's seen hard now. Turn 20, that's alarm bells. Emo kid from the class clown, that's what on my part. My ancestors scream, it's what I heard from afar. Juniper crotch and Davidson plants, served in a jar, you work in a bar. Ain't that the most perfect to start? Surrogate lakes and Copernicus stars, burning giraffes. Had to find a new dimension to start riding back to her. But I ain't gon' leave without you, so I'm coming back to earth, girl. Got some close friends on the sand dunes, that might be the greyest ocean. The entire beach is faded, all I see is shaking glow sticks. We pretend as flame emojis for sensory validation. We yet to be fascinated by genuine adoration, adept at infatuation. The tide just keeps on coming up. My dancer friends move their limbs as if they were in love. Your life is autumn rhythm, my life is rust and blue. Even though I believed you when you said I'm in love with you, as if that was fucking true. Thought I had so much to prove, so broken once I knew. Now I just assume it's nothing new. We're travelers yarns between bonfires, walking shores together. Tied my arm around your waist, we're wasting time just for a second. I got arguments with flamingos, bent over backwards in limbo. Most underrated was Ringo, opposable thumbnails ingrown. I was coughed up by the big smoke, a couple more for the trip home. The pink note is my ringtone, and you held me tighter than Mimco. Might untangle our limp bones if we burn the fire longer. Try and stop the bleeding, feed the dying swan some ayahuasca. Your dilated pupils reflecting light like a wedding ring. Let's just trade these sweet nothings as if I was your everything.
Rolling up the chest, you pulling out your blood. You're always on my mind, gotta put that shit aside. Yeah. I'm the numb when you're feeling. You're my only love when I'm dreaming.
The valve's pumping. Yeah, 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 yeah. Rolling down Cracknell, childhood in your ear. Winding down the window so the silence whistles near. I don't like to interfere. Peripheral movements from behind it into clear. Catch them rising in the mirror. From the blind and they appear, so you slide it into gear. Hearing sirens from the rear, so it's time to disappear. I think it's kind of insincere, I'm kind of insecure, cause I'm frightened of your fears. They're lining in my cinematic mind. Your lines are so revere. Roll credits, it ain't time for you to start, but it's time for you to steer. Now we're flying through our years. Came from crying on the pier, so I'm drying off your tears, but your eyes are chandeliers. If I stare deeply, it's adoration. Stalagmite gaze. Look away, cause I find it too severe. Guess my mind's a souvenir. When I'm driving with you here, at least everything is fine. When I'm right by you, my dear. 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 Right by you, my You asked for love by the 808s, guess I'm here to quantize. You came to watch the swans win, I came to watch the swans die. Affection like a bonsai, part of my apathy. Drowsily rose from the ground up off a garden of apple trees. Are you part of the family? You a king like your father, who floats like a caterpillar, stings like departure. Now you drift by the charter, I've been missing my partner. You're in a cricketer's arms, so now I'm sinking the lagers. I'ma think like I'm Sartre, then live like a martyr. Roll a spliff and depart to an abyssal nirvana. I'm somber as a judge, but I sing like Sinatra. So make a chink in my armor and I'ma swing like a waja. I'll thoroughly cherish our moments together on the floor of my apartment. We were sewn there forever. I guess divide and conquer means disown and endeavor. But when I see you in due years, I just hope you remember. When I'm right by you, my dear. Right by you, right by you, my dear. When I'm right by you, my dear. Hey, 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 hey. I loved you. You were warm and shaking and wouldn't let go. I dreamt the company you kept. I woke and stared at the floor and you kept. Ever since, from you I've heard few breaths. We can die as swans on that brittle headland. We can storm the beach at a languid adagio. A whimsical sigh from the sea, loaning cane sugar from Totoro. Playing volleyball in ancient courtyards. Silent stories of trinket trades. In a cocoon of appliances I incubate. A granary labourer fishing for silt, latched onto the still ceiling, is still feeling. A heart still beating, I'm still dreaming of a house on stilts, dead stars that are still beaming. Your gaze is aurora, I graze in your aura, as graceful an Ouroboros in rotational orbit, orders uniformly. Is that what Freud felt? The sorry ill astrologer hung in an asteroid belt. The moon ascends before the mood descends. The moon ascends before the mood descends. The moon ascends before the moon. I loved you, I've never been upbeat before. Reminiscing of once being yours, love Theodore. What a beautiful place, the mangroves lucidly sway. The solstice can bear the air in your soul, the salt in your hair, engulfed by the shower head. And her spirit hangs in the flower press. I swear I'm clutching at Tahitian pearls, drinking sencha in a terrace of geisha girls. Is this real or no? Imagination I never dreamed before. Sleepwalk, either or, Kierkegaard. Climbing ladders in one more theatre mask. Found her hanging next to an unworn leotard. In the midst of it is dancing with Maggie, because Sisyphus imagines us happy. Sisyphus imagines us happy. Sisyphus imagines us happy. Weaving a dream sequence, art, egoistic clutter, neon, aging, anxiety, esoteric, avant-garde, angst wraps into a rectangular frame, has tangled my brain. I cannot feel pain, and that is a shame. But I finally blended film and architecture with a magnifying glass to the stills of Cartier-Bresson. But I really can't remember if the glass is tempered. How can these unframed canvases fill my art collection? I explained to a depressed man why the summers isn't cold. All those wonders I done told. He wonders if they old, wondered if these thought conundrums have evolved. I had a thought that was right on the tip of my tongue, but it dissolved into fires of cigarillos lost in mulled wine pails. But remember to refer to all the old wives' tales, even if it means you spend your whole life frail and you never know the secrets of the gold line braille. Asking why we'd put a mortgage on an old Clydesdale while we sold white whale for a coal mine shell. Industrialized love letters, artificial hands to clutch temporarily into ghastly hinterlands for us to Instagram. Did you hold that horizontal, man? I think my dog's a nihilist, a tiny chocolate Labrador. You say that's inappropriate, I'd rather not be blindsided by your corrections. Here are my imperfections in a dive bar, mental health show and tell. Who can break the wine glass? I think Urok designed this atmosphere. It's peeling off imperfect tetrahedrons, bleeding my regretful ethos. My screensaver's a flat earth panorama that was sent via satellite of a world where no one feels oppressed by a traffic light. You're following the leader who's borrowing the healer, stealing sorrow from the reaper, fixing odds between the dealer. We should play real life hangman that ends real sad, in the hope that that line scares my friends real bad. The machine gods have spoken, the escalator's broken, those pearly gates won't open, so hang me with the roses just like post. Hark, ergo propter hark, and I'm a robot. King can't stay on top cause it go post. Hark, ergo propter hark, and I'm a robot. King can't stay on top cause it go post. Hark, ergo propter hark, and I'm a robot. King can't stay on top cause it go post. Hark, ergo propter hark, and I'm a robot. King can't stay on top cause it go. You're jaded, baby, gram for the gram, you're supposed to say you made it. Pink haze in the air, you're supposed to say you faded. She wouldn't trade a gaze, lazy face illuminated. How exciting over time, I'm in love with strangers. Forget me, your memory's empty, I'm pressed on the bedsheet. My seeing is colorless, breathing the blood, reading being and nothingness. Your kiss a material figment, I barely can hear through the pictures. Under chameleon bridges, our ethereal image, talking through emojis, rolling on some emoji. Baby doesn't blow trees, baby getting smoke screen. Elderflower spritzing on the groany, reminiscent of a coast breeze. Dreamt of a plateau, dried out and ain't in the sea. Follow the scent of the fireflies, same thing don't happen to me. You pop her on the airline, this gon' be a new flight. I'll see you window shopping on a few dimes, came to see reflection on the new lights. You said you after a man, you said you wanted a man. Was after a couple of grams, I guess I don't understand. You said you after a man, you said you wanted a man. I just got cuts on my hands, I guess I don't understand. Let the man speak, feel like a fucking seance. fixed by the Kubricks. Young air rises while the moon sings. Spinning wax in the claw like a cubist. All the young male hands doing Rubik's. Wallflowers don't shine in the hubris. Blue pale, blue poles and the blue pills. Pushing up daisies in the new field. You said you have to remain. You said you wanted a man. Was after a couple of grams. I guess I don't understand. Yeah, you said you have to remain. You said you wanted a man. I just got cuts on my hands. I guess I don't understand. I know you wanna go separate ways. That's at least what I expect you to say. Follow your spotlight, you led me astray. You just disgraceful as when you on stage. Arrived on the hour, you left in a daze. Left you an album, you left for the States. Falling down. You're only still as in the gallery. I'm tripping off of alchemy, just sitting on the balcony, considering morality. I'm crippled by the agony, my kicker with the cavalry, most infinite of casualties. Fluorescence, my opioids. Young Akira exchanging hearts, guiding lights through unfiltered subconscious. Boy, you done played your part. So long, so long, so long. Hey. Alby Freud. I don't know why I said that, man. These new pills are never fun, got me reconsidering everything that I've ever done. All that anguish boiling over and you held your tongue. Held your breath amongst the fairy dust and severed lungs. Never once did I ever imagine you with my lens in a flash like that ever would happen. Valiant beams, I had halcyon dreams, and a carry picked clean from the drowsiest seas. I'm out on my feet, so I'm down on my knees. Watch me bow to the streets, you as proud as can be. Losing count of the sheep, rouge and powdery cheeks. You were out here for keeps, flew an hour a week. But we write our own monologues, we're grown ups now. And we realize ballet shoes wear out eventually. But those high hopes won't come down, so we write away the joy and despair in our memories. Tie a knot in those stories, forget the knots fray. Stop, wait, remember, we never ever forget a thing. Forget that last thought, forget that we forget. And suddenly remember, we remember everything. Level a dose of amphetamine for the chemist dreams, and roll the evergreen into origami and let it breathe. Breathe in the sedative, send me to heaven. Reading the sediments, barely a mention of anything that's meant to be. Watch the smoke screen, we don't know things. Watch the smoke scream, I swear we know things. But is there architecture in the afterlife? In 10,000 years nobody will quote Hamlet. Shanghai will be a graveyard of old materials, the second Pangea for labyrinth slums. Genetics are just malleable skin based on algorithms. I'm kicking plastic bottles off the Golden Gate, and I might just jump to conclusions to see the view from a firefly's eyes. Time won't tell, but hindsight might. These new pills are never fun, got me reconsidering everything that I've ever done. I said these new pills are never fun, got me reconsidering everything that I've ever done.
What is it that you wish for? What is it that you want? You're very insecure, aren't you? To become secure, I have to have value. I want to be worth something. I want to be worth enough to attract the attention of others.
Baby, don't be nervous, I love you till it's curtains. Yeah, I see you when your lips quiver. Go tread this earth to purpose. My heart like funeral ceramics, and lilies had to mend it. Wonder how we're held accountable by a myriad of seconds. Just trying to keep the tunes knocking, confined within our shoe boxes. You grew up on a white surplus, well fed on those blue lobsters. White collars and white scholars, and no violence to hold your tongue. So don't pretend to be art-minded when it's so clear that you're culture numb. Still hang gliding through hair dryers and French diners and spare tires and tired spares and fair flyers and campfires and satire. There's a pair of lovers out there that could be happy in every nook and cranny of a tired coaster, shook and angry wooden standing. Burning matchstick bridges, stitch the Brooklyn traffic, cross Shibuya on your own. Your crueler magic could be tragic, bullets dancing in the breeze. I miss dancing with my hollies, sharing Mandy's and my mollies with my Angies and my Bonnies. Now I'm standing in the lobby, dumbfounded in the folly, the calmest shriek you've heard. I just happen to be sorry, and that has to be a worry. Pretty sure I'm a kid still. I soaring kites will fall from heights and then hang in the windmills. But I'm staying wishful, a penny for your angst. Yeah, you wish that kid would. Confetti in the air, and it smell like driftwood. Put your hands in the air, and then smell the minerals. I got 60 frames in your eyelids and they're precious crystals. Drunk fool, what does our world come to? Louis Armstrong, I loved you. 3 words you couldn't adjust to. Your parting words, they cut through, but I'm just bruised. My blood's rouge and your blood's blue. They were wrong true, there's still hope in my young wounds. Still half a breath in my frail lungs. Still a spring in that 2-step. 2 left feet in those dumb boots. Just weighing up what to do next. Just everything around me suddenly appears as futile, but my friends are oblivious. Maybe I can't hear the bugles. Dilate those weary pupils. Could wash them out with that gorgeous dread. Could widen them with small talk instead. Walk the breadth of the shore that kept us bounded to the seaside. In those home comforts we found gold. A 1-bedroom beach shack. We could weld souls in that household. But curl your toes off the cliff. Jump off, dare you to. Scream at the abyss and say I'm just not scared of you. We could graze the altitude in one hot air balloon and tumble from the basket singing love songs. Claire de Lune, young lost, parachute a subplot. There's the moon, the nihilists they come from. One strong granfalloon, blood clots, ambiguity in terms of mystery. A paradox, a thought that can align in perfect symmetry. The grief is so soothing, an unusual sting. We're mutual beings that love. We're beautiful things, and the beautiful thing is we die. So we'll never see the end. We're euphoric in the tragedy, hysterically content.
What is this? A world of nothing? A world with nobody in it?